You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey. Don't linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you. Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out. Then each and every one of us is doomed. So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The blade is your implement. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
You must have the wrong address.
Great job. You've given away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot right.
Hi. You were joking about coming to kill me, right? Do you think you could get me out of these chains? Okay. Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here for so long.
How long has she been locked away?
Did they tell you how I'm supposed to end the world?
The princess hesitates before responding. She doesn't know. She's been down here too long to have any idea of what she'd do in another life. She knows what she'd do. She's just searching for whatever answer she thinks you want to hear.
What I do doesn't really matter, right? At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust. Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why. I don't trust that, and I don't think you do either, or you wouldn't have come down here to talk.
She has a point. We're talking like this for a reason.
So this shouldn't be about what I'd do if I got out of here, or me saying the right thing to convince you to save me. This is about how messed up this whole situation is. This is my life we're talking about. Do you really think I can even end the world? Why would I even want to? We both know that if there's people we can't trust in this situation, it's whoever locked me down here, and it's whoever sent you here. And those two groups are probably one and the same.
Don't let her turn the tables here. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person.
I don't see what that has to do with anything.
This is the only time this is ever going to happen, but I agree with the princess. Okay, but actually, what has she been eating? That seems like a pretty good compromise.
I don't think I could bear being down here that much longer.
Leaving her alive is too risky. If you don't deal with her soon, she will find a way out. So I'm the only one who liked that idea.
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. It would make it easier for both of us if you'd help. But if you don't, I can promise that you'll regret that decision.
You have to make a choice. Let's hope for all our sakes it's the right one. I know you think this is some kind of fair compromise, but it isn't. No one wins here. It's a chance we'll have to take. We can make this work if we just stay here and keep watch. No one has to die.
Where are you going? You can't just leave me here.
You turn your back to the princess and make your way back to the stairs.
Fine. Turn your back on me. But it won't be long before I slip these chains. And once I'm out of here, there will be hell to pay for leaving me behind.
Slip these chains? She can't, right? She needed our help to get out of here. But do you hear the conviction in her voice? I don't think she's bluffing. Either way, she dropped the mask, didn't she? You can still grab the blade and get back down here. It will be the death of all of us, but fine. We'll do it your way. You close the basement door, locking it behind you and quickly barricading it with the heavy wooden table that once held the blade. Okay, we can make this work. You settle in against the far wall to watch the basement door. It isn't long before you start to drift off, your eyelids heavy with fatigue. But sleep doesn't come. Instead, your rest is broken by a piercing, wailing voice calling out to you from the other side of the door.
I know you're still there. Why don't you make things easier on yourself and let me out? It's not like this little door will hold you very long anyways. It's probably a good idea to try to get back on my good side.
She sounds terrifying. Like she's less of the princess you saw and more like something out of a nightmare. As she violently rattles the door, you do your best to shut her out of your mind.
When I get out of here, I'm going to pick you apart piece by piece. I won't forget what you did, and I'll never forgive it. You don't know the kind of enemy you've made tonight.
It doesn't sound like she's getting any weaker. No, it doesn't. Just ignore her. Maybe the banging and wailing will stop if you just don't pay attention to it. You put the princess's threats out of your mind as best you can and huddle up against the wall. You jolt awake in the middle of the night to silence in the cabin. The ruckus has stopped, and the door to the basement is ajar, its lock broken, and the table shoved out of the way. Where is she?
Thanks for helping me get out of that awful basement.
You try and stumble to your feet, but as the princess draws near, it's as though your body simply stops working. It isn't all at once. The paralysis comes in waves. First your toes go numb, and then your feet, and then your legs. You lie prone on the floor of the cabin, unable to do anything but witness her approach. Whose side are you on? Yours, of course. But I have a duty to uphold the truth.
So helpless. I can take my time with you, can't I?
She steps closer, one silent footfall at a time, cocking her head in curiosity as you feel your organs shutting down one by one.
Or maybe I can't take my time with you. You don't look well. A little green around the gills. What a shame. If you'd only helped me get out of here, we could have done such wonderful things together.
Your lungs stop drawing in breath, and your heart freezes in your chest. You have seconds left.
I'd say better luck next time, but we both know this is the end, don't we?
It can't be. This can't actually be how everything ends. I'm sorry, but it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. You're here to slay her. Oh, don't you start grandstanding about morals. The fate of the world is at risk right now, and the life of a mere princess shouldn't stop you from saving us all. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Shh! What if he hears us? That's a very good question, little voice. What if he does hear you? Shit! I think you'll find yourselves very hard-pressed to keep any secrets from me. Not that it matters right now, because like I said, this is the first time we've met. Still, I'd rather not get off on the wrong foot. We've a world to save, after all. Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. If you're back here, I'm assuming you died, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me. We couldn't trust either of you, and as far as I'm concerned, we still can't. All we did was lock her away. And how'd that work out for you? No comment. Well then, congratulations. You've been given another chance to actually do this right. And your solution is to send us back in there. Do you want us to slay the princess, or do you want the princess to slay us? Obviously, I want you to slay her. One of you poses a threat to the world, and the other doesn't. Anyways, I believe your other question was something along the lines of, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We were killed by the princess, and now everyone's right back where they started. It sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Speak for yourself. From my perspective, there were plenty of consequences. I'm never going to forget the way she just made us stop working. And that's only scratching the surface. If what you said is true, it begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or have you found yourself in another world altogether? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything? If she brought an end to everything and everyone, how are we supposed to stop her? I want you to succeed. You'll find a way. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. I don't think lying and cheating is her thing. She was very direct with us last time. Or at least she was direct with us after we decided to lock her away. It doesn't matter. Don't trust anyone. The interior of the cabin is plain, the smooth wood of the walls almost featureless. The only furniture of note is a lone table, knocked on its side in the corner of the room. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Hold on. What happened to the door? There was a door here last time. It's just an empty frame. She's already gotten out, hasn't she? And she's ready for us. She's been waiting. Can't you feel her eyes on us? I'm going to need all of you to pull yourselves together. The princess has not already gotten out. But if you keep getting stuck in your head like this, you're going to struggle to get the job done. So deep breath in, deep breath out. You reach down and pick the blade up off the floor. Good. Steel can't lie to us. Is it gonna be enough, though? Couldn't you have given us something else? The blade is the only thing you need to finish your task. Those are the words of someone who knows he's sending us to our death. You cross over the threshold and onto a series of isolated steps, suspended in darkness. More eyes, too. You never mention the eyes. The air seeping up from below reminds you of fresh lightning and static, as if you're descending into a place that isn't meant for a creature of flesh and blood. Her cruel and playful voice prances up the stairs.
I didn't think you'd come back. We're gonna have a lot of fun, you and I.
Okay, we need a game plan. Last time we were here, just being close to her was enough to kill us. It can't be that hard. But then we'd lose our weapon. We'd have to make it count. Otherwise she'd be furious and we'd be defenseless. If a knife is even enough to do anything against something like her in the first place, it'll be enough. You attempt to step off the stairs and into the pitch black surrounding them, but you're stopped by an invisible force. Why did you do that? What did you think would happen? Congratulations, you really lucked out. Of all the things that could have happened from stepping into a void, nothing is quite possibly the best outcome you could have gotten. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. As you emerge, you find yourself between two loose rows of white wooden planks, suspended in nothingness. She could be anywhere, and there's nowhere for us to hide. Are you really not going to comment on how weird this place is? No, I'm not. Somebody needs to be the voice of reason here, and it certainly isn't you. Excuse me, I'm being incredibly reasonable. You're the one who's just matter-of-factly describing whatever the hell we're looking at like it's an ordinary basement. We're going to die down here. I don't want to die again. Please stop saying that. You're only going to make things worse. Just pick a direction and start moving.
I wouldn't give it too much thought if I were you. It doesn't really matter. Because either way you go, I'm going to find you.
You turn to the left. A faintly outlined path lies before you.
There you are. I told you I was going to find you.
As the princess approaches, your legs suddenly go numb. Your arms quickly follow. This is it, isn't it?
And you brought a little knife with you. Cute.
There has to be a way out of this. Think! Think! What did you do? Pull yourself together. She isn't supposed to be like this.
I wonder how many times I'll get to play with you before you break.
Your vision cuts out as your blood begins to coagulate. It's as if every part of your being is coming to a lurching halt. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. Your lungs pull in a desperate gulp of air as your eyes shoot back open. What are you doing? I'm working! Do you want this body to function, or do you want... Okay, whatever you were doing, please just start doing it again. Are you sure about that? Are you sure that's what you want, or do you want to interrupt me some more? You have seconds left. Yes, I'm sure. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. Again, your eyes shoot open as you gasp for breath.
Can't decide what you want to do, can you? Oh well, standing there gasping like a fish is more fun than dead. Even if you look ridiculous.
She isn't attacking us. Why? The why doesn't matter. She's already proven her ill intent. Don't lose sight of your mission. Your weapon is still in your hands. Strike at her and end this before it's too late. Liver, nerves.
tried to leave while you suffocated, but that stupid cabin wouldn't let me. So I started to drag your body out with me, and then, well, you died before I could get to the door. And then I was here, and now you're here too. I don't think I can leave without you. And dead doesn't count. And as much as I love what we have going on, I have bigger plans than tormenting one poor little creature forever. I want to leave. I'm glad you're seeing things my way. You told me last time. Destroy is such an unenlightened way of putting it. So sudden, so violent, so little nuance. I'm not going to destroy the world, but I am going to hold it in my hands and squeeze it. I'm going to make it afraid, just like I've made you afraid. Well, it's fear, doesn't it? Every terror I bring would make the good times so much better. Well, I'm practically doing a public good. So what harm is there really in letting me out?
Heart, lungs, liver.
I am what I am, and right now, I'm in control. So, you might want to be a little nicer than me.
Raises one long gloved finger, its tip hovering just over your skin, seeming to enjoy the lingering threat. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. Heart, lungs. Are you serious? Nerves. Heart. You fling the blade into the void, denying yourself the opportunity to ever slay her and finish your mission. Nobody's happy here, but maybe it's for the best.
You poor deluded thing. Do you think a single moment of bravery changes you into something you're not? I am what I am, and you're always going to be a coward.
She raises a hand to her mask and pulls it down. You don't get the chance to see what lies beneath before it envelops you. Like a creeping mold, the complete reality of your existence threads its way through your mind. Birth, death, birth again, decay and bloom, a million stitches from a million microscopic wounds you've inflicted on everyone you've ever met, with every muscle you've moved and every word you've ever spoken. No.
Let me out.
Your existence hurts them.
Let me out.
A lonely soul in a room by itself, weeping. It lives for 80 years and then it's gone. And then it's there again.
Let me out.
A reprieve. A good life. Love. Children. A steady career. Recognition from your peers. Here one moment. Gone the next. The worms have found their orifices.
Let me out!
Diagnosis. It forgets everything it is. Anger, rage, distance, poverty. The lonely soul is lonely again. Love turns to mockery.
Let me out!
No. What's happening to us?
Let me out!
This is all too much. I can't keep going. You can't keep going? What are you talking about?
Oops, I think I broke you. I'll see you soon. You'll know what to do.
You're on a path in the... Shit! What the hell was that? Who are we? What are we doing? There was a princess, I think. It's all so fuzzy. It hurts when I try to remember. I think we were trying to save the world. You shouldn't know about the princess. At least, not until I... You've already been here, haven't you? I guess. It feels so long ago, almost like we've never left.
We have to let her out.
No, that's the opposite of what you're here to do. You have to slay her.
Slay? We decided not to do that.
Yeah, we're supposed to let her out. It's really the only way this works out for us. If you think about it, she's the one with power here. Nobody else can do much of anything. No, we were supposed to keep her trapped there forever, I think.
We're supposed to be unfeeling. How many times do I have to tell you to snuff out your heart? We can't be unfeeling. Not when there's so much fear everywhere.
There's nothing for us to do. We've already tried everything. We love her, so we have to set her free. Can we love something that hates us? Can we love something that hurts us? To be given an ounce of kindness from something so cruel would be more pure than any other love. Why are there so many of us? There aren't supposed to be so many of us. This is bad. You need to get a grip. What did you let happen? How many times have you been here? Many times. It feels like we've been here forever, but it also feels like we've barely been here at all.
It doesn't matter.
Yes, we just have to do what she says and then everything will be fine. It won't. It will be for us. She said so. You're part of everything. If things aren't fine for everything, they won't be fine for you. There's no difference between fine and not fine, it just goes on and on. What does here even mean, if you really think about it? Shut up! You were here.
Every single time.
You did your best, really. There's just a pecking order. And our cruel and beautiful goddess sits atop it, right where she's always belonged.
You're lucky. What I would give to be able to forget. I've tried to keep them numb, but they're all too soft. A shame, really. Of course we're wrong.
She's the only thing that's right. Yes, obviously they're all wrong. What are you going to do about it? There's nothing worth making sense of. They're clearly all traumatized. And yet, you aren't. We break apart, and you stay the same. Yeah, what's your secret? Why can you break the rules when we can't? Don't think about that too hard. All it will do is weaken your resolve and make it that much harder for you to slay her.
Maybe you're shattered in your own way.
Are you your memories? Or are you the one perceiving the present moment? Ugh, here you go philosophizing again. It never goes anywhere. Yes, this is far from the first time you've asked us about consciousness. Who am I? What am I? What is I? Who even cares? They're good questions, great questions even, but they don't have any answers, and they all just end in quivering torment. It doesn't matter what we do, because we always find her, and if we don't find her, she always finds us.
And then she smashes us into smaller pieces. If you all just stopped feeling, we could have been done with this ages ago.
Your thoughts are far too scattered to rein back in. Your only option is to silence them. We've tried that. It doesn't work. Our hearts always brought us back to her. The deck is stacked.
So many paths, and they're all circles.
I don't care how you feel. You have to slay her. You have to pull yourself together. You have to snap out of it.
You're lucky you haven't been stuck here like the rest of them. There's no other way to keep going. You either need to forget, or you need to stop feeling much of anything.
He's not wrong. He's the only smart one left, if you ask me.
He's worse than her.
You slowly make your way through the umbral forest, bumping against unseen trees as you grasp through the darkness for a way forward. But eventually, you do make it to the cabin. Or rather, you make it to the place a cabin should have been. Instead, all you find is an empty hill. No, this isn't right. There's a cabin there. There's always supposed to be a cabin there.
Don't ask him about the mirror. He always says he never sees it.
He always lies. And he always makes it gone.
It's exhausting. We must be such a mess, but we never get the chance to fix ourselves. That thing is mocking us.
Stay focused. You still have a job to do, and it's best not to be distracted by fraying thoughts. There is no mirror. She's still here, buried deep inside the earth. Just walk up the hill. You always give too much space to the others. They've been hurt too much. It's why they are the way they are. Exactly. They are delusions, and all that catering to them will do is drag you down to their level. You have to keep moving. Or you could just give up. You walk up the hill, hesitating just beyond the bounds of the cabin. The cabin that isn't there.
You've got to clean the mirror, haven't you? You've got to see what's in it.
Smash it to pieces!
She's on the other side, and we have to let her out. It's the only way we can be free.
It's the only way we can have our thoughts back. Just go around it. Just do something. It doesn't matter what. Exactly. I'm sure that whatever you settle on, it'll be the best possible decision you could have made. Proceed. Proceed to where? I'm afraid you're going to have to be a little more specific. That's a new one. Do you think it'll work? Of course it'll work. He always makes the best decisions. It's why he gets to make them. And it already has worked. It's gone, don't you see?
We're one step closer to her.
The interior of the cabin is much the same as the exterior of the cabin. A dull, fuzzy, dreamlike nothing. It's empty and isolating, but there's just enough vague shape and unknown texture to suggest the structure they're in. The only object of note is a pristine blade buried in the dirt floor. The blade is your implement. Take it. It's the only way forward. You reach down to take the blade, but as you do, the ground beneath it shifts, the weapon sinking deep into the earth. You lean over the hole and gaze into the abyss. It is so very deep, deep in the bowels of the earth. You see something staring back at you. It fills you with dread. It's her. She's watching us. She never stops watching us.
You really are a coward.
With every word she speaks, the princess in the pit blinks closer.
I was joking when I said that way back when. You know that, right?
Closer
I was having some fun, and I guess I wanted to see if I could melt you.
and closer.
Watching over me forever? That was so brave.
And closer.
But forever is so long. And time erodes everything. Except for me. I've already taken your will, and you're not getting it back. I would love for you to take my will and let me out. It would be so much fun. You and me, together, exploring the world and spreading fear wherever we go. Well, mostly just me. But you'll get to be there too. A trinket that gets to stay with me all the time. Right by my side. A witness. I can even make you a little cage if you want. Gilded and everything. Now don't pause. Don't try to resist. I've already molded you into what I need. And you lost your power so long ago. Don't bother working yourself into a frenzy to get it back.
Do something. Do anything that isn't taking her hand. What are we supposed to do? She took our weapon. This really was a lost cause, wasn't it? You sealed our fate when you refused to kill her. Kill or be killed. Yes, I suppose you're right. Oh well. There's no paralysis anymore. Is it because we've already given her what she wants? You extend your hand to hers. For all her past cruelties, the moment feels gentle, tender even. I can't believe you just made me say that. I hate you. The motion is difficult at first, as if something still resists your efforts. But then that resistance gives way, and it's over.
And that's the end. I wonder what we're going to do next.
I didn't think I'd be so tired. Why is it so cold?
She's gone. Yeah. I can finally think again. Almost. That mirror's back. What does that mean for us? I'm sure it'll be whisked away, just like her. Maybe it won't be gone. Things are different now, aren't they? Doesn't seem like there's much else to do here. Finally, we can smash it. Oh, will you stop with the smashing?
What do we say, boys? One last vain attempt to look at ourselves.
Yeah. I think I'd like that.
Seems we've got a majority. All that's left is to give it a look.
Something tells me that this is the end of the line. But I don't feel bad about it. I'm ready. It feels okay. The fear's gone. I'm done fighting. My heart feels quiet. The game was always going to end. I'll be free of all of you. I'm ready for the truth. I'm ready to sleep.
I'm just ready to be anywhere that isn't here. Boys, it's been an honor.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction, a mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same. As easily as you can stand to be you, you are like me, even if you have chosen not to look at the corners of you that do not fit, even if you have chosen to ignore the brilliant contours of your soul. It changes me, but it doesn't make me worse, nor does it make me care for you any less. Does it make you worse? Do you resent me? It says that your heart is gentle, that even in the darkness you are guided by compassion. This one is filled with sadness, a doll abandoned to the company of her darkest impulses. She desires only companionship, but the only thing she knows is how to hurt. She will make for a tender heart. Do not mourn her. She has finally found her way home. My perspectives are shadowed. You have seen what I have seen, just as I have seen what you have seen. The angles of my vantage do not offer me hidden truths, and my attention is turned inward, except when you are here with me. Perhaps this will change when our work is done. I will be here when it is time for us to meet